Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm working on the K-swapped FRS again. I know it's kind of been a minute since it's been on the channel. Been doing a lot of fit things lately, so yeah, just by getting a little jealous, so I figured I'd do something to her. I bought these Trackspec hood louver wickers. I think that's what they're called, wickers. Essentially go over the front of your hood vents. Louvers, as they call. So the front side of your hood vent, your Trackspec hood vent, essentially goes there. So these are required for this guy. I'm sure you can make it work with custom louvers as well if you wanted. It's just like a polyurethane rubbery thing. Let's see, the kit comes with two of these guys and a bag of tiny little screws and washers and nuts. Didn't come with any stickers. What the hell? I am gonna have to drill these rivets out. But like I said, these don't come with the hood louvers. But if you plan on doing this to your FRS BRZ and other similar cars, it's good to get these together. That way you can do it in one at the same time. Okay, you're probably thinking, why do you even want or need these guys? These vents do a pretty good job by themselves, but we can improve it. Things can always be made a little bit better. Supposedly these do a 480% increase in airflow. Supposed to make it that much better. See, how does it work? The high pressure on here is trying to evacuate, but the low pressure on top of the hood is going this way and essentially not letting the air come out as easy because they're kind of fighting each other. But with this guy, the air will come over the vent. That way the high pressure air below isn't fighting the air up here. So the air can come in and out a lot faster with far less interference. I'm sure somebody else too can explain the science and witchcraft of it a lot better than I can. But not only does it help with heat, it also helps with downforce. So you see how my setup, all my air goes through the radiator through my vent here and out the hood. And if you're interested in these hood louvers themselves, I do have a install video. I've actually done this twice, unfortunately. So if you want to know how to do it, I'll put a link up at the top somewhere. But this should be a fairly simple, straightforward install. Just have to drill out a few rivets and install some screws. Even this guy could do it. If you're like me and you already have your hood louvers installed, you're going to need a drill and a pretty small drill bits. You can take the hood off if you want, or just lay a blanket down to help keep all the metal shavings from going out into your engine bay. There's 5 rivets on each vent, so 10 in all rivets I got to drill out. Okay, my holes are drilled out. But if you're like me, you might have to modify the bottom of your hood. See, my bolt's gonna smack zero, so I'm going to grind that out a little bit. That one should be fine. This one, I might have to enlarge that hole. And of course the tools you need is this little bitty 1/16 Allen wrench, little guy, and a 1/4 inch little 1/4 socket. Okay, as you can see, I got this guy started. I started with the one in the middle to make things all lined up. This thing is grooved on the bottom, so that groove should follow the line of the vent itself. Should make it pretty easy. Then I went to these. Then I'm going to do these guys last. This definitely would have been easier if the hood was off, but it's still doable, of course. Now my screw and washer setup for this guy in the middle, I used a big washer nut, but the two on the sides, I'd used 2 little washers, big washer nut, because the corners, as you can see, the holes are a lot smaller. You can't really put a fat washer. That's why I did 2 smalls. But these two, I'm going to end up going with another large washer, a single one large washer, like that guy. And also, you probably have to pre-drill these holes, especially the ones on the corners. Yeah, I got one side done. Not too bad. I did have to chop a good bit of the hood heel because I couldn't get a socket on it with my finger to hold the nut on. I will clean that up later. Probably gonna have to do the same thing on this side. So it's not gonna look as pretty. Also, if you're worried about cosmetics, these ones will probably look better with the smaller washer, but I feel more comfortable with the bigger ones because it has more surface area. Since this is just like a rubber, I don't want to squeeze through this. And also, you don't have to go very tight on this. Just kind of snug it up until the rubber starts to flatten a little bit. You don't want to go too tight on it, or you probably rip it. Now I gotta do everything to the other side. How about you do that? Since I did this one. Your turn. Tag, you it.
20 minutes later.
Hey, like that, it is done. Not too bad, didn't take too long to do. If you can install hood lever, you can definitely install those. The only annoying thing is the screws are so tiny, you gotta be super careful not to drop the washers and the nuts and the itty bitty. So yeah, but really, the way I can really test it is I can do the whole string thing because I have a bunch of taped up string up there I can tape to the vent and take it for a test drive. Could be fun. So you can see I got all my yarn kind of at random places. I should have did a test before I installed it. Okay, back from my little test drive. From what I can see from the driver's seat, I haven't verified the camera yet, which is still on. I don't know why. Looks like a lot of the air that's like on the hood and back, and also kind of back here, is still laying flat. But in this general area is definitely raising up. You can tell The air is getting up and coming out of it. Even after I stopped, it was this idling here just from the fan. These guys were kind of coming up. So it's definitely doing something. And I think when I went faster, a lot faster, I think almost all of them will come. But with the fans on, I can physically feel the heat getting sucked out of these. So the vents themselves positively do work. Overall, I'm happy with it. Turned out good. Should work out. I wish I had some thermal goggles or something. That way you can see the heat coming out of the vents. That would be kind of cool. But don't have that type of money. Yeah, that's it for this install. I do have a few other little things coming up with this car. Maybe give this car a little break since it's been doing all the work here lately. And I'm also gonna give her a bath because she needs it. She deserves it. Yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you haven't yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more K24 swapped FRS content. I have some more stuff coming, and I will see you then. Peace.